Okay, so welcome everybody to this presentation of today. Today we're talking about the Azure pricing calculator and how to use it. Oop, somebody else is still joining. Yeah, of course. So welcome everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Marnix Tersago. I'm part of the SYNNEX Belgium's Microsoft team for 6 years now. My focus is Azure pre-sales and Microsoft security in general. So this is today's agenda. So about 37 slides. I think we'll need about 40 minutes. If you have a question, a remark, please open up your microphone and interrupt me at any time during the presentation. I'm happy to go deeper into any topic. So be prepared. What I see a lot with SMB partners is that they replicate virtual on-premise environments in the cloud. This is not always the good way of working because of possible cost inefficiencies. Scalability is different in the cloud. The architecture is a bit different. Optimization opportunities are not always taken into account. And egress costs is also an item that is easily forgotten. So be prepared before you start using the calculator, know what you need. So if you are planning on migrating one of your customers, one option could be using Azure Migrate, which goes through an entire data collection cycle and discovery, which allows you to, in the end, get to a kit list. This can help you build your cost estimate. If you feel a bit less comfortable with doing the assessment yourself, you can register your customer on this web page for a free assessment by Microsoft. So the solution assessments run by Microsoft are available for Copilot readiness, AI, cybersecurity, application modernization, and TCO analysis for VMware migrations. This is free worldwide to all SMB partners and customers. And the assessments are run by Microsoft themselves or MVP partners. One side note about migrations. This is something that is launched by Microsoft in the current fiscal year. This is AMM funding. This allows you as a partner to get funding for Azure migrations. If you want more info on this, contact us. We'll get you all the details. If you're not migrating and you're building from scratch, you can check the Azure Architecture Center. Here you can browse different architectures, choose the right technology. Oh, I've got somebody coming in. So find more info on landing zones. You can download the Visios and get started that way. Additionally, we ourselves, we also offer support for your cost calculations if required through our Center of Excellence, through our professional services, or through the local Microsoft team. So we are your gateway to professional services and Center of Excellence. You can reach us by email. I've got to put the email, the group telephone number there. So if you have any questions, reach out to us. So now the intro of the calculator itself. So I've split how shall I say, the interface of the calculator in a top part, a middle part, and a bottom part, and we go into the details of top, bottom, and the middle part. So first off, please log in with your work account to enable all features. Don't log in here because here you will log into an Azure environment, to the Azure portal. Then when you scroll down, you have 4 tabs here. The last 3 I will touch on later in the presentation. So this is the product picker, pretty straightforward. You can click here, you can search, just click the tile of the service and add it to your estimate. Then you go to the body, your actual estimate. So here I've put some numbers next to all the icons with an explanation. So here on top you can browse between your open estimates, open a new one, give it a name. This improves readability later on for yourself and your colleagues. This icon expands all lines, all items. This one collapses them. The 5th one here allows you to rearrange them in a way that's more logical to you. So you can rearrange the different items. The 6th icon here allows you to delete all lines in your estimate. This one's important for me because if you click through on this, you access more details on pricing, on products, and also direct line to the documentation. Another person coming in. So the 8th one here, number 8, this allows you to clone the line. So copy the line and add it just below. The 9th one allows you to delete the individual line in your estimate. Now we move on to the bottom part of the user interface. So here you have some drop-down lists. Now for support, leave it on basic. This incurs no cost, as most of you know. Technical support is offered by our cloud support department for free or in a paid model. This you don't touch. This is if you receive a bill direct from Microsoft in case of enterprise agreement, for instance. If you go to this drop-down list, you will see an option for CSP, but currently it doesn't work and it reverts back to MCA. So all CSP customers have signed, active CSP customers should sign the Microsoft customer agreement. So if you leave it on this, you don't touch the dev test pricing, the calculator will show the CSP public pricing. The pricing in this calculator is fed through Microsoft's pricing API, so it should be up to date all the time. Here you have a toggle switch to go for dev test pricing. If you have a customer with an Azure subscription that they obtained through MSDN or Visual Studio, some items are billed half the price, so that's very handy to forecast your costs. Here you can export to Excel. You can save in the browser, save as, and share via hyperlink. These 2 at the bottom, when you're logged in, these appear. If you toggle this, you get the display the part numbers and the meter IDs. More on this later on. So now we're going to build a very small estimate. I've opted for a VM because that's the Azure resource I get the most questions on, actually. So you go to the tile on the top, product picker, and you add a virtual machine. So here you have a text field, name your resource. It improves readability for yourself and your colleagues. Here you can choose the region of your VM. Of course, pick a region close to your users to avoid too much ping and delay on the line. Here you can switch between Windows or Linux. Depending on your choice in the operating system, this field populates with either Linux versions or Windows Server, SQL, etc. The tier I would leave on 5, leave on standard, sorry, because this will filter out lower performance machines that can be shut down by Microsoft at any time. These two, 6 and 7, Microsoft has organized their many types of VMs in categories. So you've got general purpose, you've got GPU optimized, compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized, which you should use, how shall I say, depending on your use case. When you select general purpose here you get the instance series of all VM series that belong to the general purpose category. And based on this and this, you can filter out number 8, or there's a search field here. Below, you can adjust the number of virtual machines, and here is the number of hours that the virtual machine that you think the virtual machine will be running. 730 hours is about 1 month. Ask yourself when you're building your estimate, will this virtual machine be up and running 24/7? Yes or no? It has an impact on your cost. And here, depending on what you selected at the top, here can you disappears and you can select your license. Now, just below that part in the calculator, you need to configure your VM OS disk. These are 2 screenshots from the same part. Here I've selected Premium SSD. Notice that there are redundancy options here. And you just fill out, you select your disk size, quantity, and you're good. There are other options, of course. Here I've selected a standard hard drive, 1 quantity, but here notice that you need to know by approximation the transaction units. So that's not always clear to everybody. I always use premium SSDs. It's easier to forecast the cost. Please be aware that most of the Azure VM images available for Windows Server are of a size of 128 gigabytes. There are smaller images available of 64, but I don't see a lot of use for these. Now, most VMs next to the OS disk, they also need some data disks. How do you add these? You just add a separate line to your estimate. Go to Manage Disks, click the tile. Here you go. They are added. Then you go into the detail and you configure your hard drive as desired. Notice here at the bottom right, I've activated the meter IDs. This shows the meter ID for this particular type of hard drive in this region. So meter IDs are region specific. So this is the end result. You've created your virtual machine, configured it, and you added your data disks. For readability, I repeat, give it a name. Now the more advanced features. So these three tabs at the top of the screen and a bit more about the functionality below. So the example scenarios, this is a limited list. You can add all components to your active estimates and adjust them further. So if you click here, all of this is added. In the saved estimates, again, log in before you create your estimate. You click the Save button below. Under this tab, you can see all your saved estimates. You can open, delete, export, or copy them. And the last tab is just some general facts. So if you export, this is the same example we used. Notice that each line on your estimate corresponds to a one line in your Excel export. Notice here also that the meter IDs are also included in your export. Notice the disclaimer also at the bottom. If you want to have up-to-date pricing, for instance, for an estimate you created 2 months ago, please reopen it again in the cost calculator to update pricing and do a new download. Okay, so saving and save as that we saw, that relates to the saved estimates at the top of the screen. And the share button, which allows you to share the estimate using a URL with a colleague, with a customer. Please be aware that changes made by the recipient are not updated in your estimate. So everything that you save is linked to you personally. This is not grouped by company in any way. Now let's go for the next one. So display the meter IDs. Why do I make such a fuss out of it? As we saw earlier, meter ID is mentioned below the cost of each item on your estimate. And you can find the specific meter IDs in a column of our Azure price list. So hypothetically, you could create your estimate, export to Excel, and then through some formulas, retrieve your exact price. What are the cost optimization options offered by Microsoft for Azure? So you have 4 main options: reserved instances, well known, savings plans, Azure hybrid benefits, and start-stop VMs. Now we go deeper in each of these 4 items. So reserved instances. So these are the most popular and well-known type of reservation, the ones for VMs. Here are 2 screenshots from our earlier estimates. So I go from pay-as-you-go to 3-year reserved. My compute price drops. Please be aware that VM reservations only cover the compute cost, so CPU and RAM of your virtual machine. Please also notice that the monthly reservation cost for compute is included in the estimate. Why do I stress this? Because other savings options are not included in the estimate, and this might cause some confusion, so keep this in mind. Now, next to the VM reservations, Microsoft offers a lot of other ones. This is a screenshot from the Azure portal. So some of the items on this list might seem a bit exotic, but most of these resources are commonly used. Blob storage, managed disks, Azure backup, SUSE Linux license for sub-deployments, app services, Fabric. Now, to be fair, for managed disks, reservations are available starting from 1 terabyte and above. For blob storage, reservations are available for 100 terabyte and above. So not for everybody, but they are available. Moving on to savings plans. So these offer lower discount versus pay-as-you-go than VM reservations, but they allow for more flexibility. In my experience, it's also more difficult to calculate the savings benefits as Microsoft assigns this savings plans budget dynamically. So saving plans can be applied dynamically by Microsoft to virtual machines, app services, AKS, Azure Functions, and some dedicated hosts. So when do you go for a VM reservation? And when do you go for savings plans? VM reservations are very specific. The moment you apply, it is applied to your virtual machine, you see the compute costs drop off immediately, and they allow for maximum savings. So this is more flexible, a more broad application, and the optimization is done automatically by Microsoft. So my advice to you for saving plans, if your workloads are more dynamic, use various instance types, shift between different regions, Azure regions I mean, or use a lot of serverless compute. When would you use VM reservations? If your workloads are stable and you can commit to a specific instance type and regions for a set period. Moving on to the next one, which is Azure Hybrid Benefit. So if your VM will be running 24/7 and needs Windows Server, always go for a CSP server subscription. Notice, in the contrary to when you click around in savings plans and reservations, that when you opt for Azure Hybrid Benefit, the cost here disappears. So this is something you need to keep in mind. So from our earlier example, we had a VM with 8 vCPUs. So the Windows OS cost in pay-as-you-go is 248.79 euros public price. An 8-core Windows Server Standard CSP subscription costs 294 euros for an entire year. So here you pay for a month, 50 euros more, and you pay for an entire year. My advice is also to never use Azure Hybrid Benefit on the B series, because in the case of the B series, pay-as-you-go is always cheaper. Why? Because these are constrained processors on the VM, which are burstable. The only licenses or subscriptions you can use here are CSP server subscriptions or other volume licenses with active SA. The next item is using start-stop for your VMs. This was updated in September of last year, as you can see here. This is just a JSON you deploy to your Azure subscription, and you can further adjust it. I've added the link here below. I also have some additional resources that could help you build your case to your customer. The TCO calculator. This is Microsoft supported, of course. You've got the Azure Hybrid Benefit Savings Calculator. This allows you to calculate, okay, I'm in this region, I want this machine. How many core licenses do I need? The same for SQL, server VMs, managed instance, and database. Although the savings for these three are a little less obvious than for Windows Server. This is also, of course, a Microsoft supported tool. Non-Microsoft supported tool, the services overview. This is very colorful, but it is very interesting also because it allows you, for instance, here, you can check which Azure resources have had a technical update in the past 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. You can click around and find related resources, so resources that are commonly used together to build a solution. You can filter out on technology. You can click through to learn articles, etc., to further build your estimate. Another handy tool, also not Microsoft supported, is this one. I've added the link below. This just allows you to select your Azure region, the pricing you want to see. You want to see it in euros. And here you just fill out the vCPUs and the memory you need. And it shows you Linux and Windows pricing, again through the Microsoft Azure Pricing API. So now I open up for Q&A. I expect some questions. As I was not interrupted, was everything clear for everybody? Do you have any remaining questions? No questions from anybody. Okay, then I did a wonderful job. This presentation will be shared in... Ronnie, you can open up your microphone, eh?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Marnix?
I can hear you fine, Ronnie. Go ahead.
Good morning. Just a question. In one of your previous slides, you mentioned the toggle switch for the part numbers.
Yes.
Are these part numbers used by TD SYNNEX also in the ION reports?
No, unfortunately
Okay.
not. We in the ION reports, I don't think we've added the meter. The meter ID is leading.
Yeah.
Meter IDs are confirmed in, how shall I say, in all the data we receive, consumption data we receive from Microsoft. But the only place that the meter IDs are available to you as a partner at this moment in time is on our price list.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Any other questions or remarks? Okay, then I close the webinar. Thank you for your time and your attendance. Enjoy the Easter holidays, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for the session. Bye-bye.